So we got Notre Dame and USC on Saturday, then Chiefs v. Raiders and Dallas v. Washington on Sunday. 3 words for rivalry games: ooh, la, and la. Most rivalries are owed to sharing the same neighborhood. Capulets v. Montagues, Duke v. UNC, Homer Simpson v. Ned Flanders, because whether it's love or hate, proximity engenders strong feelings. But then there are the rivalries based on more than mere contemptuous familiarity. Sometimes it's about 2 teams peaking in different time zones, but in the same window of time, leading to showdowns that play as cultural reckonings and live on past just one generation. Among sports' best non-regional rivalries, Lakers-Celtics is probably number 1, with the Yankees v. Dodgers right behind, but let's rank the top 6 in football. At number 6, extreme lifestyle differences between the ancient rivals at sun-baked USC and dreary old Notre Dame. And I don't just mean the Golden Domers' aversion to using Trojans. I'll also throw Notre Dame v. the U in here, as redundant as the vibes are. At number 5, Tom Brady v. the Manning brothers. Yeah, if Ole Miss BMOC Archie Manning hadn't met his future wife Olivia in Oxford, with future considerations Peyton and Eli, Brady would probably have a dozen Lombardis. Then there are the Dallas Cowboys, who have so many non-regional rivals we could even leave out their 3 NFC East foes, all of whom reside 1,500 miles away from Texas. At number 4, there's Cowboys v. the Niners, with Staubach's comeback in 72 and the catch in 81, and in 3 straight early 90s championship meetings, we knew the survivor's reward was going to be the Lombardi Trophy. At number 3, Cowboys-Packers might be even bigger. If Bob Lilly tackles Bart Starr on the QB sneak at the end of the Ice Bowl in 67, NFL champs wouldn't hoist the Lombardi Trophy, it'd be the Landry Trophy. Bigger still, though, at number 2, Cowboys v. Steelers. Back in the 70s, when pro football was still just rounding the corner on its way to passing baseball in popularity, Dallas and Pittsburgh were fraternal twin heavyweights, shiny stars v. steely brawn. 9 Super Bowl appearances between them in the decade, twice against each other, then again once in the mid-90s. To this day, when Dallas or Pittsburgh plays on a road game, the stadium is half filled with their supporters. That's how deep the roots sank across football America. That and all others go behind number 1, though, Army v. Navy. Not many visuals better than the sea of cadets in gray and midshipmen in black, preferably with a light snow falling all around. In almost any rivalry, the participants claim it's the only game on the schedule that matters, but as far as I can tell, the only head-to-head where that's actually the case is between these 2. Anywho, here comes another weekend of football. Let's get to this show so I can go sit on that couch behind me for the next 72 hours. Start the show! Yes, hi and hello, my fellow football Americans. Welcome to episode number 17. Welcome to NFL Week 7. We are presented as ever by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Coming up, Matt Leinart and Chris Cote. Not together, though, I don't think. Let's start this show like we do every show by honoring the guy who wore our episode number the best in pro football history, number 17. This feels like an easy one, fellas. Josh Allen has got to be the choice, right? There's Gino, there's Mike Fuentes, there's Chris Cote along. Welcome, Chris Cote. Hope all's well on your end. Thanks for joining the show. Let's start with you. Any 17s you want to volunteer here?
Best TD celebration 17, Jalen Waddle. We're going to give him that. Phillip Rivers. I think I can make the argument Phillip Rivers over Josh Allen. Okay, Josh Allen, win a road playoff game, okay? That's all I want to say. I might be cherry-picking the one stat where Phillip Rivers is better than Josh Allen. He has 3 playoff wins on the road. Okay, Josh Allen, win away from home, all right? Then you'll impress me.
Wow, never had a road playoff win. That's never registered for me, but your larger point feels kind of true, if cynical. I mean, they're kind of, Josh Allen's tracking, if he ain't careful, he's going to be this generation's Phil Rivers, or as I've said before, Dan Marino, which is to say Lombardi-less, residing the rest of eternity out there on Marino Island. Any Chris or Gino or Mike, any thoughts to the latest non-scandal scandal brewing this week among Bills fans, it seems, which is that Haley Steinfeld is somehow dragging Josh Allen down by turning him into a 3-dimensional human being instead of mere football player.
Sounds like they're just reaching for answers. They can't beat a good team.
Well, they've been down this road. They've been hurt before, so I don't blame them for having. But the other side of the coin is, or I guess the question is philosophically, do you care at all. People always do the thing about, like, I don't care what the football player's politics are. Do you care to know that he is, in fact, like I say, a human being who has other interests? Or do you want him to be Tom Brady, willing to get divorced from a supermodel in favor of grabbing onto another Lombardi?
I want to use my wife as an excuse whenever I have a bad show. That's what I want to do.
Great. Smart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Works
Always got to
great until
have
you get
places to point at other people's, other people to blame.
It works great until you get home. Yeah. Then you get home and you have to answer for your sins. Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill,
What?
Josh Allen, same amount of AFC Championship appearances.
Also had a crazy wife.
Same amount.
That's really what it's about, and what you'd have to do is structure your life and marry a woman who doesn't care at all about football, nay, doesn't care at all about what you do during the day, at least not enough to consume your work. Then you're in the sweet spot. Then you're threading the needle, because you can blame her and she'll never be aware of it. Also, Hall of Famer Harold Carmichael, the tallest football player I've ever seen, Devontae Adams with the Rams, of course, Terry McLaurin, and then there's Doug Williams in Washington. Unfortunately, because he only wore that number, I believe, when he was on a team whose name we can't say. We agreed a couple of weeks ago here on the show that the politically correct among us have made it. It's weird. We knew all the bad words, all the racial slurs, all the kind of xenophobic things you could say, but in our lifetime, in this millennium even, we have dropped a new slur into the mix, and now we can't say it anymore. I feel uncomfortable with that. Chris, how say you?
What a question to get dropped on you. How do you feel about racial slurs, Chris?
You can say it if you want to. That's your choice.
Look,
Football America is a free country.
looking like me, I try to avoid all of this. So I don't want to talk right now. I kind of want to just take an elevator, push the down button, and head to the floor and get out of here.
Chris or Fuentes boys, did I get all the non-regional rivalries? Did I mention them all in that little monologue at the top?
I kind of feel like we had like a Miami versus Cleveland thing during the LeBron era, especially those first couple years, because of the whole like
that was LeBron
Comic
specific,
Sans
though.
letter. Yeah, well, it was a basketball rivalry, but I remember we really wanted to stick it to Cleveland because they were just, there was a lot of nonsense being talked just because LeBron decided to come down here.
I mean, you can do Heat Knicks.
But that's regional. That's East Coast rivalry, right? So
okay.
yeah. So like anything,
kinda. But yeah, that's a great one though, Mike. And in fact, I have made the case for LeBron against the entire Western Conference. And if you can't beat him, join him, which is what he did with the Lakers. But up until that point, how many finals did he go to in a row, or however many, but 7 or 8 times his team from the East played a Western Conference team? That's been a pretty strong rivalry over the course of his career.
At least 8, right? Because he had 4 in a row with the Heat, and then I think he had 4 in a row against the Golden State Warriors. I want to say 8. I want to say 8. It was almost a decade of LeBron in the Eastern Conference going to the NBA Finals.
And then there used to be the USA versus USSR, whether it was hockey or basketball or anything else. But that ship has sailed because now they're our closest friend, from what I hear. All right, listen, we have a lot to get to here. Me and the Fuentes boys have to get through the Pick 6. We also have your Week 7 countdown, the best games upcoming, and we're going to tell you who's going to win them and by how much. But first, let's talk about that USC Notre Dame rivalry. Let's talk about quarterbacks in our league and the guys that are toiling still in college football on their way to the NFL with a guy who knows a thing or two about all those subjects, Matt Leinart. Here he comes, everybody, the Heisman Trophy winning 2-time national champion from USC. He's also the host of Throwbacks. He now wants his fellow Trojans giving blood by December 5th, if possible, for the Big Ten and Abbott Labs, the second annual We Give Blood Drive. My guy, Rob Michael, at the head of Abbott Labs. So shout out to him in this small world. You can check out more at big10.org/Abbott, or you can text donate to 222-688. Great work, Matt Leinart. How are you, man?
Dave, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. Fired up to be a part of this campaign for year 2. As you just said, huge blood shortage in our country. 1 donation can save 3 lives. How about this? Last year, this campaign kind of competition to get all these Big Ten schools involved saved 60,000 lives. This year, we're over 110,000 already, and we're only halfway through the season. So that's a shout out to all the people out there who have given blood. I'll be giving blood this year for USC. We finished last year. We had a terrible participation, so we need to get back. But yeah, big10.org/Abbott to go find out more about where you can do it and how you can donate. But it's been great, man. It's been great to be a part of this. Obviously, people at Abbott, they've been phenomenal. And the winner, this winning school gets $1 million to advance student and community health, which is cool. A lot of kind of weekly prizes too. So a lot of incentive there. And it's just really to get the student body involved for these schools and all that. So donate for someone you love, donate for your school, whatever it have you, and go save a life.
Everybody likes competing, right? So this is a chance for USC people and my alma mater, Indiana University, riding high in football.
I was going to say, you guys are riding, as well. Not a basketball school anymore, bud.
Well, we're both. That's what we are. That's what we are, Matt. Let's actually dip in on some college football here. Yep. Fill in the blank for me, if you would. The first quarterback taken in the 2026 NFL draft will be...
Ooh, God, that's a good question. The first quarterback taken in the John Mateer.
Ooh, that's a little because of the injuries and otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, the injury. The injury. I think he rushed it last week. I mean, I don't know. I think the decision making wasn't his best, but I think that kid, for what he is and how he plays, I think he's a special talent. I believe that, and I think he's got a great shot. Now, I still think Kay Klubnik is going to be up there. There's a lot of really good players. This is a deep class. I think Mateer is probably, when it's all said and done, will be the head of the class, is my opinion.
There was last spring in the 2025 draft a lot of people saying, a lot of the experts were saying, don't take any of these guys, wait until 2026 because it's so QB rich. Right. But now we've seen Arch Manning probably fall back a little bit, Drew Aller, and so it goes. Why do you suppose the 10th overall pick in 2006 NFL draft, what's your opinion on this? Why is QB evaluation in this millennium still so tough? It's still like a 55-45 proposition.
Well, there's a lot of things. I think, first of all, and we've seen this, fit and system in place when you get to the highest level is literally the number one thing that you need. There's been a couple outliers, right? There's Andrew Luck is the big one that stands out, even though he retired. I think Trevor Lawrence is now starting to play pretty good. Like there's guys that they're just so talented that you can fit them in, and they're going to make the guys around them better, right? And it just happens. The system, and again, we're seeing it, right? I mean, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Daniel Jones. I mean, even Caleb Williams, year 2 now, is playing really good football with Ben Johnson. And I just think there's so much of that. And I was a part of that. And again, I'm not going to compare myself to those guys, but when I went from Arizona to Houston and I played for Gary Kubiak, Mike Shanahan's system, Kyle Shanahan's now system, Sean McVay, right? That tree. It was the best I'd ever felt as a quarterback, playing the position, right? Just being a quarterback. What does that mean, right? The reads, the progressions, my footwork, all the things that go, all the nuances of the position, not just going to be an athlete and playing. And again, I got injured and all those things. So I think you're seeing that at that level, right? It's really hard. And then when you go at the collegiate level, the game has just changed so much. Like, anybody can throw. A lot of these guys are completing 80% of his throws. It's just the NFL game is different. We've also seen a lot of players at the collegiate level, like, they're not getting developed as well. Look, the Arch Manning thing is interesting, right? He's so young. Like, we were like, and again, I was guilty of it. And I love Arch. I love the family. I think Arch is going to be a really good player. He just hadn't played a lot. And we were just so, well, he's big and he's got this arm. And like, all of that doesn't, like it doesn't mean that much. We were just, a little sidebar, we were just talking about like Cam Scadaboo in our big new meeting. It's like, why was he the 4th round? Well, because he doesn't have the measurables, right? He ran a 4.6 or 7. He's not a sexy pick. He doesn't run a 4.2. But he's a hell of a football player, and a lot of that kind of can translate over to quarterback. Sometimes you get caught up in you can run fast, or you can throw the ball 80 yards and all that. But when it comes down to mental. It comes down to the system and the way you're being taught. And I think that's, to answer your question, it's just, it's 50-50, man. You go to a certain organization, like it's challenging.
I mean, I think that's exactly right. If you're paying attention, you have to contextualize where you're dropping that guy. I mean, West Coast offense for you seems optimal. Who is the guy who you look at in the NFL now at that position and say, if he can do it, I could do it too? I wish I would have been in that system in full health and all of that.
Well, that's an easy one for me. It's Brock Purdy, it's Shanahan, right? Because that's where I just felt my best. The play action, getting the ball out fast, that like the progressions are tied with your footwork. It's just taught very differently. Like I was so, Dan Orlovsky's a good buddy of mine, and he does a great job on TV and breaking down. And we were in Houston together, and we talked about like I went there, and I'm like, oh wow, this is like my footwork is tied with my progression, and if one's not there, you go to two, and you go to like it was just the way it was taught, and it seems kind of easy, but it was just taught so intricately and the nuance. And then once you mastered it, it was like, that's the reason why a lot of these guys, that's the reason why a lot of people think, oh, you can kind of plug and play. Like, look at Mac Jones. I mean, I know he didn't play too well last week, but like, you can kind of put a guy in there, they're going to play better because of the way it's taught. So for me, I look at that. I mean, I think McVay is kind of like, he's the same thing, but he's evolved even more so because he's got a guy like Stafford who's really, really special. But that would be the one, man. Like, that would be the one that would be probably best suited for my skill set.
I was just going to say, I could see you going across football America down to South Beach and thriving in the Miami Dolphins system, as a matter of fact.
Very similar,
as well.
too. I mean, McDaniel's is,
right.
Again, I mean, again, that tree is, that coaching tree is spread throughout all of the NFL right now. And a lot of quarterbacks, Miami's struggling, obviously, but a lot of quarterbacks are playing at a high level in that system.
I don't know if you heard, big one for the Trojans upcoming this Saturday against the arch rival Notre Dame. It is really one of the, if not the most distinctive rivalries out there in sports. I mean, one is in South Bend, Indiana. The other is in the entertainment capital of the world. Tell me one thing, because you've been in both towns. You've spent a little time. Tell me one thing better about South Bend, Indiana than Los Angeles, California.
I mean, I can't tell you one thing better.
You can't tell me one thing?
No. Nope. The weather stinks. There's nothing to do in South Bend.
There's that big Jesus guy hanging up over the stadium.
Touchdown Jesus is staring at you the whole game. It's a little awkward, It's good though when you beat them up there. I think we haven't beaten them since 2011. So, look, I respect Notre Dame. I always have. Doesn't mean I like them that much. They're a really good football team. This is like, and I'm not even saying this, like this is a tough game for USC to go on the road and beat a team like that, especially. The win last week was huge. It was monumental for the perception of this program, and I believe that. And I believe one game can do that. I really do. You consistently, you got to be able to do that at the level to be great, and to go into that stadium the way they're playing, the way they can run the ball, the way it's CJ Carr, who by the way he's going to be talk about the draft in a couple of years. He might be the number one pick. It's tough. It's a challenge, but that game last week gave the boys some confidence, and it proved that they can do it. So we'll see. When you get to, last thing I'll say, when you get to South Bend, you want to get in, and you want to get the hell out right away, man. There's not much to do out there.
I'll tell you, that connects us back to 19 years ago, and I've talked to Reggie Bush. I've talked to him about the Bush push and all of that, but he told me a great story about how insane it was when you guys got there. And by the way, I should also say this: collective wisdom goes that the USC Texas game might be the greatest of all time. Fact. The greatest game was not even the best game that season. The best game that season was, in fact, SC Notre Dame. That was a gem for all of time. But Reggie told me that the student body was out there, and you guys were scared for your lives to some degree. Weren't they shaking the bus?
I would say I think it was the only time, because I've been to Notre Dame twice. I was there as a backup or my redshirt year, which we lost, and it never was like a place where it didn't feel like, I don't say important, but like it just like was that year was different. To Reggie's point, we got there and we always do our, like, we get in town, we go do our little private walkthrough, mess around on the field, kind of have fun like we always do. And they had like 1,000 kids. I mean, there was a ton waiting for us where the buses drive in, and that they hadn't done that before. And so we were like, oh, okay, like these boys, like it's a big game, right? It was ready, and they were saying they were saying, I never forget. I remember like coming off the bus with Sarkisian, and he kind of put his arm around me, and we were like going through like this tunnel, like these fans made. Like we had security. You always have security, team security, but like they made like this tunnel, and they were signs. They were talking their stuff. They were nasty. I was like, oh, like this isn't typical Notre Dame behavior, you know? So they brought it. Listen, they brought it. They were a good football team. At the end of the day, you know, we obviously made the play at the end to win, but it'll feel that way this year. This year's a big game. I mean, playoff eliminator for Notre Dame. You know, just huge stakes for USC. If they lose, they still can run the table and probably make a playoff. But they got Oregon. They got a tough schedule. So this feels like it's a must-win for both teams, in my opinion.
I agree. It's an elimination game, probably on both sides of things. Last thing. I want to know who you hate more, Notre Dame or UCLA. I feel like it's probably
Notre Dame. It's not even close.
Because UCLA is more of a punchline to you, little brother at this point.
Yeah, a little brother. Like never a rivalry. My wife went to UCLA. I don't look at UCLA. And by the way, I loved Cade McDaniel era growing up. That was my favorite football team. I loved UCLA basketball.
That's because you, me, and Cade have something in common. We throw it from the left side, right?
So like when I played UCLA, there wasn't when you're in it, but it wasn't great games. You know, I'm not just saying that, but Notre Dame just felt different. It just felt bigger, and it was bigger because of that game and the history of it. You just felt it bigger. So definitely don't like Notre Dame. UCLA is fine. I find myself, I want them to get back, you know, like I love Jerry Neuheisel. I know Rick Neuheisel. Like I'm happy for them right now. I know Nico personally. So like, yeah, I root for those guys. Like obviously I always want USC to win that game too, though.
Well, by the way, as I let you go here, UCLA and USC was freshened up with the home jerseys returning.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll and Rick Neuheisel agreed on one show hosted by Dave Dameshek. I got them on the phone together to agree to both wear the home jerseys and take the 15-yard. That's right.
By the way, I love that. The home and home is amazing. Well, because like our home jerseys are great. Our white jerseys I don't like. I never liked. UCLA, the powder and gold is whatever, but the home on home is good. Congratulations, Dave. I didn't know that fun fact about you.
Well, thank you, and you're welcome and all the rest of it. And I mean, congratulations to you. I remember watching you make that all-time nails drive, the throw to Dwayne Jarrett and beyond, and that's got to imbue you for the rest of your life with the confidence like, I did that. There's nothing too tough for me. So go give blood, Trojans fans, and win this race, the second annual one. Great stuff from Matt Leinart. You get a T-shirt. You get the pride of touting your school and all the rest of it. Matt Leinart, we appreciate the time, man. Good luck this weekend.
Awesome, Dave. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, man.
There he goes. Nice fella, right? I like him quite a bit. I did learn, though, in the little interim here, that Mike Fuentes is playing hurt. You have a bellyache, huh, Mike?
Yes. The food we got for lunch here, not that great. I'm not going to say any names. Wow. But it's hurting right now.
Complaining about free food.
I know.
Jeez.
I mean, it hurts. What do you want me to tell you?
Privileged child.
You know, oh, yeah. So, okay. Yeah.
What genre of food was it?
I don't want to say. But
was it Thai
say
food?
what kind of food it was?
Listen, after you put Chris Cote on the spot about racism in the first segment, I am not going to.
So you don't want to disparage any sponsors?
No. Let's just say there was a lot of salt, and now it's hurting my tummy. That's all I'm going to say.
So saying a type of food would be an insult to a nationality? Is that what you're getting at here?
Crazy times here in Football America. Dave Dameshek. Anyway, we got some games coming up, and we have Chris Cote here to get through them. So you want to start with that anytime? That'd be great.
I do. I do want to get to all that stuff. I do want to say very quickly, though, while I have you here, thanks to my fellow Football Americans who take the time to drop us a line on YouTube or social media in general, especially my guy, our Football American of the Week is, in fact, a Brit. It's James McNeil. Man, he always is dropping a line, positive words. We appreciate it. You can drop negative ones, too, if you like. He spoke up about the Steve Smith Sr. conversation. A lot of feedback on that one. People really enjoyed that and also enjoyed the ray of sunshine named Colleen Wolfe earlier this week. Go back and listen to both of those. Hey, Chris Cote, big news down there in South Beach. Billy Gill moving on. I was curious watching that from afar. Really nice stuff from Dan Lebitard and what he had to say about Billy, and best wishes to him. But where you're concerned, does this sort of make you like Casey Affleck at the end of Good Will Hunting? Like, oh, Will went to see about a girl on the other side of the country. That means I ride shotgun from here on out. Is that your move now?
I think I'm feeling the pressure of having to be funny. Billy's funny, and there's a lot like the people on the show that bring the funny. We've been losing those in recent months, so I feel like I'm feeling the pressure to be extra funny now. And leverage, contract talks. I'm looking at all of it, Dave.
Okay. Well, listen, I mean, maybe if you start talking about what kind of food is upsetting your belly, that would be funny. Matt Leinart was talking about giving blood. The question I didn't have time to ask him is, what's your favorite kind of cookie? Because that's what they give you when you give blood. They give you a prize. They give you a nice cookie. Your choice. Give me, Chris Cote, your favorite type of cookie.
Wow. Okay. I feel like I'm going to get judged hard for this. And this has been a controversial thing with me and my friends before. My favorite cookie? Give me an Oreo.
I'm with you.
Just give me an Oreo.
I'm with you.
I know it's not good for you. I know it's like
regular
packaged
Oreo, right?
and processed. Give me an old fashioned. I don't need that double stuff.
Thank you.
Just give me a normal amount of stuffing. Just give me an Oreo. Give me a nice glass of cold milk.
I don't even drink milk anymore, but I'll do it for the Oreo.
I'm going to go Oreo. I mean, obviously, I love the chocolate chips. I love an oatmeal cookie. But if I could have one cookie for the rest of my life, give me an Oreo.
Just one Oreo. Okay.
I don't want to be precious, but if I'm going to have any cookie, it'll be a chocolate chip. But so long as it's nice and warm, because when you get the gooey chocolate chips, what's possibly going to beat that? Nothing is the answer there.
What's the perfect amount? How long do you microwave?
How long?
A chocolate chip cookie?
A chocolate chip cookie, it can be too gooey.
Yes,
it can be too gooey.
I still want to be able to pick it up.
Correct. Yeah, if it's flopping, not for me.
No. Yeah, I'm not a lunatic. I say the sweet spot is 11 to 17 seconds. I don't know your microwave oven, but that's about the range that I'm setting.
I must have a really strong microwave because I feel like I've thrown that thing in for like 9 seconds before and the thing's bubbling.
Yeah, when you figure it out. It's true, though. It is subject to different microwaves, but like
wattage.
Every once in a while, too, staying with chocolate chip cookies, I know they're not good at all, but sometimes I just really want Chips Ahoy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. And I have the same like craving sometimes for bad fast food, like Subway, right? Yeah. I know it's not good. Unless they want to sponsor Football America, and then I love Subway. Right. You can't get a better sandwich in America than Subway. Go down to your local Subway, get something. But it's not considered good, even though in Football America it's great. And I just want a meatball sub. Yeah. Even though I know it's not the best meatball sub to some people, to me, I love it. It's the best.
Gino just mentioned this. Hey, microwaves, can we get on the same page?
Yeah, that's
watts?
a good idea. Yeah.
Why do I have to know how? I don't know how many watts my microwave is. Okay.
The instructions
give me a set amount of watts for every microwave, so I don't have to look at the package and be like I'm doing a math equation.
Yeah, exactly.
On how many minutes I got to do this.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Dave.
Hot take. Microwave ovens are the most overrated technological advancement in my lifetime, and are now completely outmoded thanks to the air fryer. The air fryer has the microwave beat.
Game changer.
6 ways to Sunday. Okay, maybe it's a tick slower, but it's worth the difference. Do not microwave. The number one thing to not put in the microwave, but put in your air fryer instead, pizza. Leftover pizza is so much better out of an air fryer than it is out of the microwave. Yes.
I had a question about your microwave.
Yes.
And now I can't remember it.
So I actually find a vet move is you zap it in the microwave for like 30, 45 seconds just to like kind of get the process going, and then it takes less time, and then you finish it in the oven or the air fryer. That way you get that crispiness you're looking for, but it doesn't take as long.
It's like you're giving it's almost like Frankenstein's monster. You've taken the parts of what was a human being and now you've made it into a whole nother human being. Except it's a cookie.
What you're saying is,
hey, we got game picks to make, but I do want to say this: the butterscotch cookie is very good, although I cannot quite distinguish what is the difference between butterscotch and caramel. They're very close cousins at minimum.
Butterscotch? What are you, 75? Like a butterscotch?
You don't like a butterscotch?
No.
You don't like a nice butter? You ever eat a butterscotch pudding? Another hot take from Dave.
This must be a
Maybe
Pennsylvania
better than
thing.
chocolate pudding.
No, not for me, Clive.
Butterscotch pudding is a Pennsylvania thing, yes.
Okay.
All right, listen, enough of this jive. Let's move on to what's important, and that is our countdown. The NFL Week 7 picks, we'll count them down from 5 all the way down to 1. We're going to tell you who's going to win them here, and let's start it off with the Green Bay Packers at the Arizona Cardinals. At the time of this recording, we don't know if it's going to be Kyler Murray or Jacoby Brissett. For what it's worth, Jacoby Brissett has been pretty efficient in that offense. As it stands, the Cardinals are plus 6.5 at home. Total is 44.5. Let's start with you, Chris Cote. Who you got in this one?
This is simple. If Murray plays, I like Green Bay. If Brissett plays, I like Arizona to cover. I'm just doing the math here of just something off with Murray in that offense. I like the way Brissett's moving that offense, and that's a lot of points. Green Bay is one of the few teams in the league that I actually think is good. We had a long list of teams that are good at the beginning of the year. I feel like that list is dwindled down a little bit. But right there, I'm going Murray. If Murray plays, I like Green Bay to cover. If Brissett plays, I like a close game.
You know what? There are now more Super Bowl viable teams in the NFC than there are in the AFC. Also joining us for the Week 7 picks, iconic frontman of Black Flag, Henry Rollins. Who do you have in the Packers and Cardinals? Packers! Okay, so he's going Packers, and he doesn't seem to care who's at quarterback for the Cardinals.
I love what I'm looking at. I love what I'm looking at, by the way. If you're listening to this experience, you need to be watching it. I just want to tell the audience that.
Well, I mean, listen, even if you didn't like Black Flag's music, even if you're not into hardcore, the ladies had to appreciate the shirtless physique of Henry Rollins. I'm going to go with the Packers here, one way or the other. No matter who's opposing them, the Packers are starting to emerge as one of those real contenders. Packers 28-26. Next up, it's the Rams paying a visit to the Sunshine State. The home team, the Jags, are +3 in this one. No Puka Nacua, it would seem. The Rams on the East Coast here, so the cross-country travel is not a factor here. 45.5 is the total at the time of this recording. Chris Cote, how say you?
Two teams that we're going to talk about here in these games annoy me. The Jags are one of them. I just can't figure them out. I was big on them coming into the year. Travis Hunter, thought he was going to be a gem. He hasn't really emerged yet. Think Trevor Lawrence is good, yet that offense, you got Brian Thomas Jr. just dropping passes right in his hands late in that game last week. There's just something about these Jags. I think they should be good, but they're not. And Rams, McVay, one of the best offenses in the league. I'm going Rams -3.
I don't mean to have a chip on my shoulder about the Indiana Hoosiers, but I do sense people are looking for a reason to jump off the bandwagon, and I think that has gone on for quite a while during the Trevor Lawrence era with Jacksonville. I do think, to your point, if Brian Thomas catches a pass, they maybe win a big game last week, and now they are one of the teams we're buzzing about. Like, can this team actually go to the Super Bowl? Let's hear from Henry Rollins on this one. Boy, he really seems to be into the Rams in this game. I'm going to go with the Jaguars winning this one 23-20, confounding stuff. And the Rams, if you've been paying attention to them, without Nacua, they are a different team, obviously, and a worse one at that. Moving on, at number 3 in our countdown here, it's the Atlanta Falcons. It's the San Francisco 49ers. The Niners laying 2.5 here. Total is 47.5. Chris Cote, how say you?
Falcons, the most confusing team to me in this league, outside of maybe the Jags. They're the other annoying team for me in this. I hardly ever get them right. My gut here tells me San Francisco, so I'm going to fade myself and take the Falcons +2.5.
Interesting, tortured logic there. Henry Rollins, how say you?
Sorry, go ahead. Dave, you don't have teams that you just get wrong. Like, there's just teams that I refuse to bet because I just can't get them right. So I just start fading myself with them because I just can't figure them out.
I think Henry Rollins went with the Falcons there, by the way, just because anybody was wondering.
I was just going to ask. I'm sorry, Chris. It was a little disrespectful on your part. He's a legend after all. I wasn't exactly sure who Hank just took there. It was Falcons. That's what you're saying, Gino. That's your best guess.
He said I think he said ATL. So so he's nodding yes. So
sometimes it's hard to interpret, screaming lyrics.
That's right. Yeah. He's nodding yes, though. He's right.
That makes sense. I mean, yeah, Henry's been a Michael Penix guy since way back. I'm going to take the Falcons here in a big spot. I said it a few weeks ago that the ceiling is now the NFC title game for the Niners, which means that there will be no home game in Super Bowl 60 in Santa Clara for them because they lost the Jenga piece. The whole thing imploded when Nick Bosa went out. They can only go so far without him. That goes twice without Fred Warner now. So they're really doomed. Bob Saleh is going to do some good work there, and I wouldn't be surprised in the short term if he does rise up and slows down Penix and company here. I do have a hunch, though, that these Falcons are about to take off here after the big win. I like them, and here's how much I like them. I still think my preseason pick that they're going to win the NFC South is in play for them. The Buccaneers have been riding awful high, but those close victories, as the advanced analytics people always want you to understand, is there is a regression there. You don't always win every one-score game. So I expect the Bucs to come back down to earth and the Falcons to continue their rise. All right, next up, Eagles, Vikings. Vikes plus 2.5. Total is 43.5 at the time of this recording, unless there is an update for us, Mike or Gino. I don't think they've announced if it's JJ or Carson Wentz, have they?
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen any news on that yet. Chris Cote, you're picking a little blind here. Do your best.
Should they give it back to J.J. McCarthy?
I love betting a good team after they lose. And you know what's even better than that? Betting a good team after they've lost 2 in a row. I think the value you're getting here with the Eagles is as good as you'll get all year. Everyone wants to panic about this team and the pass offense. I think they're just fine. I think they will win this game pretty easily. I like the Eagles minus 2.5. It's one of my favorite bets of the week.
This is a tough one. Henry Rollins, how say you?
Hey, Vikings!
So he's taken, you know what, that spiritually is a better fit for him, Norseman, tough guy, ancient and all of that. To answer your question, Fuentes, I think that they should go back to J.J. McCarthy because that's what KOC wanted at the start of the season. Now, what I also said was, I don't know, what was it, a month or so ago, why are they not in the market for Kirk Cousins? I get it's the heavy contract and all of that, but in all of pro football outside of Atlanta, that's a pretty good fit. There's familiarity and all of that. I think if you had Kirk Cousins under center, we would be buzzing more about the Vikings, whether over Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy. But still, as I keep saying, I will ride with the clever play caller and who he chooses to have at the trigger. So if he wants Wentz in there or J.J., I ride with KOC here. I'm going to pick, I guess, the upset, Vikings 27-21. Nick Sirianni, it's an odd year, so it's a down year for this Eagles era, I suppose. Just found out a few weeks ago, A.D. Mitchell knows what I'm talking about. It's the Indianapolis Colts making their way back out to Los Angeles, where A.D. Mitchell had his infamous little play there. The Chargers are laying a meager 1.5 here. Total is 48.5. Chris Cote, choose.
The Chargers and the Dolphins played a close game. All right, that's my analysis. I'm picking the Colts plus 1.5. I haven't been a buyer of these Colts. I know everyone's telling me they're good. I'm not sure I'm buying them fully yet, but there's just something wrong with these Chargers. I know they're hurt on the offensive line. Give me the Colts plus 1.5.
Well, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head here. They're just trying to survive being down 2. Yeah. Potentially dominant tackles. One they kind of got by without, but in the short term, they are suffering the effects of the Jenga theory. That offense has kind of imploded. And in just a slightly smaller matter, but not a significant, Amari and Hampton and Najee Harris are both down. So this is a diminished offense we're looking at. I thought it was as far as that goes, I thought it was a huge win for them to rally against the Dolphins in their state there. I think that maybe imbues them with a different level of confidence in this era, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's enough for them to, because it allowed them to maintain their lead on the Chiefs. Wouldn't be surprised if they end up winning the division by that margin, that one victory that they got against the very, very sad Dolphins. Yeah. Henry Rollins, how say you?
Charge!
I think he meant Chargers. Dave.
Chargers?
Yeah.
It feels like he was really trying to emphasize the first syllable in that team's name, right? I got that right? Charge.
Seems like the Chargers might need to find an alternative option at tackle.
You son of a bitch. That's a good one.
Come on, Dave.
yeah.
Dave, give it to me. Dave.
You're working on trying to be funnier, and this is your first foray. I'm not going to get in the way. No notes on that. I want to build up your confidence here. Let's see if we can, before we get in this week's pick six here. Last things first, in terms of picking the week 7 games, we've got a Monday Night Football doubleheader. We talked with Colleen Wolfe earlier in the week about this. I mean, if your life is so full that you have time to complain about more football on Monday night, I'm envious of you. I think it's great to have, especially when there's staggered start times. It gives you twice the chance of seeing a good game on Monday night, a.k.a. the worst day on the calendar every week. So let's do it. Tampa, and by the way, huge games, too. Huge Monday night games side by side. By the way, nobody ever complains when there are 2 good games on at the same time on Sunday. I don't know why Monday has been villainized for this. We love it on Sunday, right? Although Kirk Herbstreit did complain. Another person who probably doesn't have much to complain about in this world. So he's allowed to worry about too many good games on a Saturday. But let's pick these ones. Buccaneers, Lions, home team Detroit, laying 5.5. Chris Cote, how say you?
My favorite team to bet last year versus my favorite team to bet this year. Lions last year, Bucks this year. I want to give this game a hug. I wish I could take this game on a date. If I could send this game to just, if I want to show somebody what football is and how fun it is, this is the game I want to show them. I love this game. I'm taking the points. Give me the Bucks plus 5.5. And I just want to be alone with this game. I don't want anyone to see me when I'm watching this game.
No pants required.
Yes.
Henry Rollins, how say you? No shirt required. The hell? What, did he roar like a lion?
I think it's a lion's roar.
At first I was like, is he picking the Rams? That's not in this game.
I think it's a lion's roar.
Simba over there. I know that I bet you the lion's share of bettors are going to lean on the Buccaneers, given how close their games seem to be, and they've beaten some heavyweight teams, and they've done it in the last minute. I think the Lions are, especially after what we just saw in KC, they are going to rise up and they are going to depose the Bucks by a touchdown or more. I will take the home team there. The other one is the Houston Texans, still desperate against the Seattle Seahawks. One of the great stories so far, Sam Darnold. I don't know where producer Bradley is today, but he always loves to talk about Sam Darnold as an MVP candidate, and Gino loves to talk up that Seattle defense. In fact, he recently, I don't know if you heard about this, Chris, he decided to replace the Dolphins with the Seahawks as his favorite team. Meantime, choose.
Wow, Gino.
Just for the rest of the year, man. I can't take two.
I did that a few years ago with the Chargers, and the Dolphins immediately got good, and the Chargers immediately got bad.
Maybe that'll work for me.
But on this one, you know how earlier I said I can't get the Falcons right? This is the opposite. I am so on the point with both of these teams. I don't think I've missed a Texans or a Seattle game all season. I know these teams. This is an easy one for me. I love Seattle here. I've been on them all year. That defense, I think, top 2. Like, is that the best defense in the league? That's just.
In terms of numbers, they rank high in every relevant category, and especially when they're at home. This is a big spot. Monday Night Football, all of that. The crowd will be even louder than usual.
A few weeks ago, I was. You were still getting them as like underdog. I feel like the Vegas is kind of caught up with Seattle here, so I wish it was 2.5, but I will take Seattle -3 at home.
Precursor to the grunge scene up there in Seattle was Henry Rollins and Black Flag. Henry Rollins, who you got in this one? Did he even make a pick?
Yeah, that was just
I don't think he made. I don't think that was a proper pick. I think he's had it with
Gino.
us. Okay. Hey, Henry Rollins, what an honor to have you on the show. Best to you and the boys in Black Flag. I'm going to take the Seahawks, as I already indicated. Lay the 3 confidently. They'll take care of the Texans. Your eyes are not lying to you. The Texans are not very good, and against that pass rush, they have no shot. Now, let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with DraftKings Pick 6. All right, as promised, here's this week's Pick 6, and it's presented as ever by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours, and bonus, Henry Rollins took off. I don't know where he went, but Chris Cote is still here. As we jump into it, I hope Cote can help us win the $1 million. This is downright embarrassing for all of us, and I'm not just going to wear this alone. This is on you as well, Mike Fuentes. You too, Gino. Maybe Chris will be the difference maker here. It occurs to me as I'm about to tee him up for you, I think I've taken one under all season long here. Does that make me too glass half full?
I mean, you're a positive person, but I think we were all pretty much discussing here that overs are just more fun to bet than unders, because I've always said this. If you bet an over, those cash early. Example, if you had Drake London last
touchdown
week,
ones for sure.
right.
Well,
yeah, touchdown, that's its own thing.
Why do you want to cash early? Slow burn, baby.
No,
Slow
man, there's nothing
burn.
like watching a primetime game knowing the money's already in the bank.
I want to put that $20 in there and let that thing slow cook.
But what if
I want to watch that thing boil.
But what if you cash early and then, you know what, maybe you get in on a little live-in action.
You're cooking multiple legs. You're just trying to, you're overcooking.
No, I get my meat, it's done. Guess what? I'm hungry again. I want another one.
Wow.
All right, I go back to the buffet. Yeah, let me get a second beef Wellington, brother.
Wow.
Boom. So
Crew beef Wellingtons.
Yeah, I was just thinking of food, and I'm like, what comes out that you can just grab? It's really hefty.
Now you got me thinking again about Chris Cote and his meat watching that Bucks and Lions game. I don't know what he's going to be doing between his four walls. That's his business.
And his meat watching.
Nobody look at me during that game. I'll tell you that much.
I wasn't planning on it. If that makes you feel any better.
I might live
All right,
stream
let me give you my 6 for the pick 6, and then you guys can chime in. Justin Herbert is going to throw an interception. It just takes one for you to be a winner here. He's had 4 in his last 4 games. Next, Matthew Stafford is also going to throw an interception. Jacksonville leads the league with 10 picks so far this year. Jalen Hurts is one of our favorites here on the pick 6 to get into the end zone with a rushing touchdown. I don't know if you've heard, tush push is a big play in Philly. Ladd McConkey, that's right, Mike Fuentes. I'm stealing him from you. Now that he has found the end zone, I say he's going to do it again here, so it's not all bad for Justin Herbert. Travis Kelce, with all the pass catchers coming back, and one of the most overused phrases, take the top off the defense. So now you're going to have Rashee Rice, and now Xavier Worthy's going to be able to take the top off the defense. That's going to mean less attention paid to the future Hall of Famer Travis Kelce. I say he gets into the end zone again this week. And then Quinshon Judkins is going to get a touchdown. I know he hasn't had one in a couple of weeks, but the Dolphins defense, I don't feel like stacks up with the Vikings or Steelers defenses, against which Judkins didn't get into the end zone. He will this time around. Cody, what do you like there, or do you want to replace one of those?
I want to react to yours for a second. Fuentes is calling you negative. I think if you take the over on an interception, that is like taking an under, because you're being negative about what you think that player is going to do. Follow me here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he's not being overly positive. Like, you're saying, oh, you like overs, you're just overly positive.
But it's positive for you. It's negative for him.
But he's hoping for bad things.
But the number...
It's like taking an under.
But the number is more than 1, but it's negative. Whoa.
Yeah.
This is heavy. This is heavy.
Wow.
This is like an unwarmed chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah, like an Oreo.
Yeah, I think I need a minute, Dave.
This is an Oreo.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to keep the pace going here because we only have so many minutes to speak about pro football and beyond each week on Football America. At some point, we need to get a deeper dive, and I have to take you to task. Of all the cookies on the planet Earth, you're rolling with an Oreo?
So
self-esteem issues. Chris Cote, do you want to throw one out here?
Yeah, I'm going to go, as I said earlier about the Jags, just don't know what's wrong with them. I'm going Travis Hunter, under at time of recording, 39 yards.
Like it. Next up, Mike, how say you?
So I'm not the Ladd McConkey thing. I loved Ladd that week, but now that he's calling, I'm a little bit not so much. Travis Kelce, I get what you're saying. There'll be more people out, but that also means more pass catchers to catch touchdowns. And Kelce, we all know he's on the back end of his career. So if you don't like any of those, put Saquon Barkley in there for a touchdown. He hasn't scored a rushing touchdown in the last 2 weeks. Do one this week.
They have a lot of people that they have to please all of a sudden between Saquon and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. But I hear your noise. Gino, you want to throw one in?
All right. If I had to take one out, it would be Ladd McConkey because it looked like Quentin Johnston's going to be back. But for me, I'm going to go Bill Krosky-Merritt here. Dallas makes you score and can't stop anyone. Plus, they've also consolidated the running back carries in Washington now. So I'm going to say Bill Krosky.
Listen, Bill Krosky, I know what you're doing with that. All right? I know what you're doing. It's a bad joke. I don't like that. Okay?
It's not a joke. It's not his joke. It's the guy's, though. He wants to be called Bill.
He knows what he's doing.
Real quick.
I know he does. It's weird.
Next episode, you guys got to tackle best NFL player ever with a hyphen in his name.
Ooh, okay. Challenge accepted.
I know my favorite.
I like that quite a bit. And by the way, good news for you, Chris Cote. We found one person that you're definitely funnier than Bill Krosky. He's welcoming this weirdness in here. Go eat some Oreos. We appreciate the time with you and with Matt Leinart and with you, fellow football Americans. We'll be back after Week 7 to try and make sense of all of it for you. Until then, for everybody here at Football America, thanks so much, fellow football Americans. It's been a thin slice of heaven.